Hi, this is Tim Brandon with Byrd Appliance. Today we're looking at a outdoor kegerator. You can see the tower here for the 2 taps, and also the kegerator's right here underneath. And what we're doing is looking at a problem we had, and it looks like an installation problem. It may be something that comes up on your own installation. Alright, so basically what's going on, and this one has already been unplugged, but there's a buildup of ice all along the back of the evaporator. And it's a solid ice. I wish we had it, but it's already been turned off. And it just builds basically from the fan down to here. What you've got going on here is a problem with airflow. A lot of these are installed, and sometimes there's a gap that's left. And this gap underneath the counter and in between the refrigerator is lets the humidity go inside of the refrigerator, and it just builds up ice. Once you build up enough ice, you can't circulate the air. It basically blocks the air that the fan is pushing inside the refrigerator, and your refrigerator is going to lose cooling ability. Ultimately, you're just not going to get any cooling at all. So what we're going to do is look at how to take care of this, one of the solutions that we use. Alright, the first thing you'll notice is this little bump here on the side. What had happened previously is because this thing had 2 taps, they drilled a 1-inch hole here and a 1-inch hole here and run the 2 lines through. That's really not going to work. What you need to do is check and see and measure the hole inside where you have at the top of the refrigerator where the tower would normally sit. And you want to cut a hole that's basically the same, I mean as close as you can to this hole. And then what you want to do is insulate the difference between there. So what happened here was obviously there was a problem with the air, it just was wide open. Alright, in our case the hole measures 3 inches wide, and we have a depth of 2.5 inches that we need to cover. So what we found that works really well, and 3 inches is pretty standard across most models, is don't go to the store and buy 3-inch PVC or anything called 3-inch, because that's measuring the inner diameter typically. What we'll use is a 2-inch, and we like the flexible coupling for PVC or any other type of piping. So this is just a flexible coupling. It's a 2-inch, so basically on the outer diameter you're around 2.5 inches. Then what we'll do is you can go to AutoZone, somewhere like that, and grab some gasket maker. And what we're going to do is fill out the outside and bring it up to 3 inches. This also gives you the ability to move it around a little bit in case you don't have a perfect hole here. And you just obviously need some scissors to cut your gasket with. And we use petroleum jelly or Vaseline for sealant. It doesn't have to be a super tight seal. What it needs to do is prevent the airflow. There's really no pressure on this system, so and it doesn't move. So these 3 items are really going to take care of most of the issue. Alright, so what we did was we went ahead and cut the gasket material here to the size of the coupling. The reason we did that is it really is about the right length. This total amount's just over 3 inches with the gasket material on here. And it also reaches about 1/2 inch or so inside the tube. This will just create a nice seal. Then what you want to do is take your petroleum jelly, and the reason you're using this is 2 reasons. One, makes a nice sealant in here on both the granite and on the tub, or sorry, not the tub, but the refrigerator material, and also will help you slide it in there. So that's 2 reasons we're going to do it. Alright, it's extra hot out here. You want to bring that camera a little closer. Alright, so here's what we've got. Basically, you see how we've got a nice snug fit. Some of this has kind of come up a little bit. We're going to trim this. We've managed to get everything on the inside nice and flush and into the fridge. So what we want to do is trim this up. We're going to put some more Vaseline on this side so that we can slide this last 1/2 inch inside of this tower. Sorry we had to skip over some stuff. There's too many people working in the yard over here, and we're starting to sweat. So basically what you need to do is work this in. You may have to push the tubing in around it. We had to do that. We're not going to pull it back up. But basically you want to get in there maybe with any type of prod, anything you can reach in there, and just poke in the edges so you make sure everything fits smoothly. Make sure there's Vaseline on it. Then you'll get this whole piece down. Then you can go ahead and reinsert your bolts and tighten it back down. Final step, plug it back in, turn it on, and get some cold beer.